General Manager for South Europe. Martin, welcome. Can you talk to me about some of the risks that risk managers are facing, particularly when it comes to employees and people, and what some of those trends are?
Yeah, so basically we really have two types of risk, the perceived risk and the real risk. And clearly in the past 24 months, terrorism was very high on the perceived risk agenda for all the risk managers. And of course, the incident rate is very low, but when it happens, the impact can be massive. And what is very interesting is that this risk put this agenda, the basically travel risk management, high on the top executives of the companies. And it helped them address the vast majority of risks, which are the real risks. Among those, are road accidents and anything related to traffic, the risk of disease, infectious disease. You've got malaria, but you've got all types of flu and all those risks. You've got natural catastrophes, and all those risks are faced by companies, but we're not always properly addressed. So what is good is that now risk managers have kind of a lever with the perceived risk to help companies put programs in place to properly manage the entire range of risks.
So you're basically saying the big risks push it up the agenda for the C-suite, and then they're more likely to act on the smaller risks that make up the day-to-day big problems.
Yes, that's exactly it. And through our 26 assistance centers, we manage more than 4 million cases a year.
Wow.
And clearly, among those 4 million, terrorism represents a very tiny portion.
Sure.
But on a day-to-day basis, we manage cardiovascular accidents, road accidents, and these form the vast majority of the risks that companies and risk managers face around the world.
And what about something like nat cats? Obviously, they can be quite serious. So are they on the perceived risk side, or are they more of a day-to-day risk?
I would say they're clearly not enough on the perceived risk side. We've seen a rise of those instances in 2018, and in our outlook for 2019, we classify this as another major risk area that companies have to be prepared for. What we've witnessed last year is some level of unpreparedness for a number of organizations. We've seen that in Puerto Rico, we've seen that in the Caribbean, we've seen that for a number of earthquakes. Let me give you an example. Too many companies are still not aware of where their business travelers are at any point in time. And of course, there's a growing number which are equipping themselves with travel tracker solutions, but we're not there yet. And we still receive calls from employees, caught into a natural catastrophe and say, trouble, can you assist me? And when we call their employer, sometimes the reaction is, oh, I have someone there, I was not even aware. And we tell them, yeah, and well, now we're trying to do, to mitigate the situation, but it's already there and you're not aware. So I think this is one of the key aspects, and companies have to really equip themselves.
So making sure you know where your employees are is one of the things that risk managers can do. What else should organizations be doing to make sure that they're on top of their travel risks?
So the starting point is to have a strong travel management policy. And when we ask companies, typically, do you have a travel policy? They say yes, and they will talk to us about expense management. And we say, no, we're not talking about this. We're talking about the proper risk assessment and plans for employees traveling. What are the risk level of countries? What is the authorization process? What are the trainings that needs to be put in place before someone goes to Africa and a zone where malaria is endemic, etc., etc. So companies first need to know what their exposure is, because between a multinational bank and an oil and gas company, the risk exposure is completely different. So companies need to know where they are, what's their footprint, and put a strong policy in place. This is to me the starting point.
Okay, and the last one, it sounds like that needs to be more than just risk managers working on their own. Is there a case that the C-level needs to be more involved, the HR directors need to be more involved, the companies need to start working more holistically to make this happen?
Absolutely, and risk managers can't manage this on their own. Of course, the top level has to be involved, has to endorse, has to impulse, but you've got three key components in that process. You've got HR departments, because they have to educate all the population around the solutions and the risk and the solutions. You've got security directors, because they've got to be part of the risk assessment and also solutions to be put in place. And then, of course, you've got the risk managers who put it all together and who also manage the insurance side of things.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Thank you.